Police officers are trained to remain calm, to walk into chaos and bring order, to see death and not flinch. But this was different. What happened inside that house in Willow Creek shattered the illusion of control. A place so ordinary, so picture-perfect, became the epicenter of something so dark, so unholy, that even the most seasoned investigators were left trembling. Tonight, on Echoes of Crime, the case that made the police cry, and the mystery that still haunts them. It began with a simple call. 10-year-old Emily Harper didn't show up to school. Her mother, a local school teacher, hadn't been seen in days. Neighbors reported the family's home looked frozen. Lights on, car in the driveway, mail untouched, but no signs of life. 2 officers were dispatched for a welfare check. They knocked. No answer. The front door was unlocked. The air inside hit them like a wave, damp, still, and sour. There were no signs of struggle, no overturned furniture, just wrongness. They moved slowly, calling out names. The living room was spotless, but every family photo had been turned to face the wall. Children's toys lay in exact, symmetrical lines. The only sound was a faint mechanical clicking coming from the den. A dusty tape recorder sat on a small table. It was still playing. The tape had long since run out, but what had been recorded on it would later be described as a psychological weapon. Down the hall, behind a pantry door, they found the entrance to the basement. It was blocked by a child's dresser, deliberately pushed there. One officer later said, "I knew before we opened that door that something would follow us back up." The basement was nearly pitch black. They found a false wall, cracked and damp. Behind it, a narrow chamber. The walls were covered in handwriting. Rambling. Obsessive. I had to show her. She wouldn't sleep without the song. We were never alone. In the center, a chair with leather restraints. Nearby, small folded clothes. Labeled. Dated. There was no blood. No bodies. Just the echo of something that had already ended. The evidence recovered filled an entire room at the precinct. Journals dating back 20 years. VHS tapes. Audio recordings. Drawings, none signed. All depicting a tall figure in a hat, watching from corners. When she saw herself in the mirror, that's when I knew it had started working. Whoever made the tapes was calm. Soft-spoken. He spoke about tests, transformations, and the Watcher. He never mentioned his name, but he always ended the same way. She was chosen. They always are. Officers who reviewed the tapes reported insomnia, nightmares. One had to be hospitalized after a breakdown. He claimed he saw Emily staring at him through his bathroom mirror. Emily, whose body was never found. 3 officers left the force in the months that followed. One, Sergeant Hollis, took his own life after writing only one sentence. "It's not over. The house was just the beginning." The house was demolished 6 weeks later. Unmarked request. Quiet order. No official explanation was given, but neighbors said they heard voices during the demolition. Crying, screaming, singing, and then silence. Until 5 years later, another tape, mailed anonymously to the police station. Same voice, same ending. "We start again soon." Who was he? How many were there before Emily? And why do none of the recordings ever mention her mother? This was not a crime. This was a ritual. One passed down like a curse, silent, secret, and sacred. The police cried because they saw it for what it was. Not the end of a case, but the beginning of something they couldn't stop. This is Echoes of Crime. And this echo hasn't faded. If you like this video, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for more videos.